Hello, everyone. It is Selene Kempton here, independent demonstrator Stampin' Up, and I work here. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. I'm a little sleepy still, coming home from the Alaska incentive trip, but I'm getting caught up fast and furious, getting ready for a retreat at the end of the month and club next week, and I have a workshop in person with a group of ladies on Thursday. I had my team meeting this past Sunday, and we made some gorgeous projects featuring the Wild Bunch stamp set that you can get free. Well, no, it's not free. I lied. You can get for $5, so it feels like free, with any $75 purchase. So you can add it on once your merchandise total in your cart reaches 75. It is a super versatile stamp set, and I'm really happy to play with it. I'm also very fond of techniques. So I decided to pull out my watercolor pencils and get started with playing with this beautiful set and bringing out some old techniques and marrying them up with some of the newer stamps. So I used Assortment 1 and 2 of the watercolor pencils, and that's all we have. And they're pretty inexpensive if you consider what you're getting. But a lot of you may have watercolor pencils in your arsenal of stamping stuff, and you may not even know how valuable they are. So let's take a look first. These are the cards. We'll get to those in a minute. But let's take a look at the actual watercolor pencil. So I used this with, let's see, the Beautiful Ordinary Life Designer Series paper. And so that's the ones that we used throughout the make and takes, and we'll go through those again, like I said, in a minute. But what I did was I went through Assortment 1 and 2 and found the watercolor pencils that went with my designer paper. I do this a lot when I'm working with designer paper. I want to coordinate with what I've got. So let's zoom in here a little bit, maybe. There we go. And I'll show you the ones I used. So basic black, basic gray, flirty flamingo, early espresso, pumpkin pie, coastal cabana, and daffodil delight. Now, pumpkin pie is not in the designer paper, but when I was playing with this flirty flamingo, it didn't really look flirty flamingo to me. So let me see if I'm all the way in. Yeah, I guess I am. Okay. So if you look at the guy with the little hat here, this pink is labeled Flirty Flamingo, but when I pair it up with the designer paper, it's kind of almost there, but not quite to me. So one kind of superpower about watercolor pencils is that you can mix the color to create the color that you think. So I actually thought that this looked like it had a little bit more orange in it, and you're not probably seeing the orange, but it's in there, and I just went over it. I love this paper so much. I got my nails done same color. If you're here, please say hello so I can love on you a little bit. Okay, so today I'm going to be working with watercolor pencils, but I actually wanted to show you that when you have watercolor pencils, you can make your own paint. So this is a water brush. We sell these in the catalog too, and or online. I don't even know where they are anymore, but we used to call them aqua painters. Now they're water brushes. But you can blend those two colors together, and now I've got something that looks more like Flirty Flamingo to me because I think it pulls a little bit more orange than what the original pencil allots. So consider that when you're creating things, because you can mix colors together and make different colors. Like this is Coastal Cabana and Daffodil. And if you do it on a bit of a palette, like on a watercolor paper, you can even use that palette to pick up and paint something else. Okay. So, and my pencils are looking really light today, so I'm going to have to go a little heavier on the camera so you can see better. But, and every time you watercolor, things are going to come out differently anyway. So that's one way to use pencils. You can also use them with your Wink of Stella, because Wink of Stella is a water-based ink. And so if you were coloring something, and we're just going to pretend here, we'll say it's a birthday hat, right? It's a triangle. Ha! Now it's a birthday hat. Ta-da! You can take your Wink of Stella and use your Wink of Stella to move that color and blend it out, and now it's sparkly, right? So great techniques, and it works with the pencil really nice, and it softens it. So now that we've done all of that, I'm going to move on to today's workshop. So today's workshop features this Wild Bunch stamp set, and it has five really great sentiments. Just a note: sending love, hi friend, thank you for all you do, and happy birthday. It's got this checkerboard pattern, which I see race car driver, because my husband likes NASCAR, and he actually used to race amateur down on the boulevard. It's got four really cute animals that you might be wondering how to watercolor with: a heart, a branch, which I didn't use for this. That's the only stamp I didn't use in this class. A hat, a present, and a happy birthday. So wicked cute. All right, so I'm going to take my stack of paper out of the way, but I am going to use one piece as a scratch paper, because when you're working with watercolor anything, it's nice to have something to clean your brush and work with. So I'm getting my pencils back in line. Here we go. See, I'm all back in line, and I'm ready to have some fun with you guys. Okay. Hey, Leah. Nice to see you, my friend. Okay. So I did this class with my team on Sunday, and I loved it so much. I had a different class in the shoot, but I decided that I was going to move this class up to this week because it's so adorable, and because it features that stamp class you can get for free. You can get, like, again, with a $5 purchase. It is so valuable, this stamp set, and I can't believe they're selling it for $5. But you do have to cross the $75 threshold to earn it. Now, I have already done some of the punching for class attendees. This was punched with the rounded rectangle punch, and I just took a little section of it and went in and punched it. And actually, it's going to be a gift card holder. So if you look here, I got my gift card holder. So while I got this here, I'll just throw some adhesive on the sides, and voila, it will hold money or a gift card right in the center. You just fold it up and tack the sides like that. Okay. So when I started looking at this stamp set, I thought it would be kind of fun to play with color blocking. So I cut this designer paper, or I cut the card base down to 10 by 8.5, and then I scored it at 4.25 and 8.5, and then I cut it in half at 4.25 to get me two card bases. So now this is a 4.25 inch square. And then these pieces are all 2 inches. So when they layer up, they'll layer up nicely. So actually, why don't we just start there, and I'll build my color blocked piece. Isn't this adorable? So 4 2-inch squares will make a 4x4, and that's what I need to put on my 4.25 if I want to have a border all the way around. So I'm just kind of button these up against each other to make an easy background. So fun. Let me put a little more. Whoop. I got the door prize, an extra piece of paper. That happens sometimes when we're stuffing packets. Okay, so let's bring in our stamps for this. We need our penguin. There's a new black ink pad, but I'm still using my Memento. I like it better. So use what works for you. I did put the other black ink pad in the supply list at the top of this video, but I'm still using the Memento. And use what you have. So I need sending love and happy birthday. Those go good together, don't they? It is a beautiful day out. I hope that you've had a chance to get outside and enjoy the nice weather. Here it is, I don't know, I'm gonna say 75 and sunny. Just gorgeous. So I inked up with my Memento pad. I'm gonna bring it a little closer so I can see what I'm doing. And just stamping my sentiments to start and get everything lined up that I need. And then we're going to stamp the penguin on the diamond. So here we go. Gotta love that old bang, 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 bang. All right, here we go. So here's my penguin. I'm going to go download it, make room for my hat. He's so cute. I can't even stand it. Makes me so happy. All right. Got the hat on there. We're going to stamp the present. You pick what you want on yours, but this is what I'm doing here. Present. And then how about a couple of hearts? Just cause. Yeah, cause. All right. Stinking cute. I can't even stand it. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a basic gray pencil. And honestly, I just want a little bit of scrap paper under here so I can play. I know you can't see where the border is, but it's there. And I'm going to draw a horizon line. So when you're looking at the ground, actually I want black. When you're looking at the ground, you'll get a horizon line. If you look at the edge of the room that you're in and you look at the table, you'll notice that the ground isn't down here, that your eye sees the table up here and that the ground is somewhere here. So I'm looking at my penguin and his ground is right there. And then I'm just going to pull some of that down. And you can't see as good on my, let me see if I can tone down my brightness to give you a little better view. There we go. Sitting on your deck. Ah, oh, that's fabulous. All right. So now you can see some of my pencil scratches because I have a little more control over the brightness on this. Okay. So now, old school, I'm going to get all of my pencil markings in that I want before I hit it with the blender pen, because what happens a lot of times with blender pens is folks will think, and I'm going to add like a little bit of dark under him. I'm back to the basic gray, by the way, and then I'm going to add a little black under there. Folks think that they can blend again, but with a blender pen, you actually kind of want to get all your pencil strokes on there first. And I want to give him a little bit of weight. He's chubby like me. And okay, so now I have a pretty good amount of pencil on there just to give you a closer view. Then when I go in to do my blender pen, the blender pen doesn't have to work so hard, and neither do I. And what's nice about that is if you've ever used a blender pen, you know that if you do too much back and forth, your paper will start to pill, and that's when you're done. So you don't want to rub back and forth so much that your paper starts to pill, but if it does, stop right away because that's your done button. Okay, so I've got this all blended out. He's got some nice cute ground under him, and I'm ready to go again. So the top of his head, I'm going to make all black. So, and I could add a shadow or a highlight in the center if I want. So I'll do that by adding dark around the edges, maybe even make the top dark. And then I'll leave the middle kind of empty so that when I come back to, and it doesn't look like anything when you're in the middle. Like, look, it doesn't look that great, right? But the pencil is going to do all the work, and actually the blender pen is going to do most of the work here because I'm just going to blend it out on either side. Blend. And then, where did that scrap of paper go? I'm going to get rid of the color on my blender pen and then just go through the middle gentle. So now he's got like dark, dark, and then a highlight in the middle, but there's no like artiste stuff going on here. It's just me and my penguin. I'm also going to make his bum dark. Oh, sorry. My pen is in the way, my blender pen. And his flippers. And like, because they're so dark, I can just hit it with the blender pen and it fills in any blemishes, anything that's not perfect, just goes away. And then clear the color off my blender pen. And I'm going to make his beak and his feet pumpkin. Because I don't know, it seems right. Okay. So then, let's see. How about daffodil for his hat? And again, if you get the kit and you have the pencils, you can always just replay the video as you go along. But there is a PDF tutorial that goes with this. So if you do place a $50 order, I send you the PDF tutorial anyway. And then if you go over 75, you'll also get another 12 card tutorial that I do with 11 of my Stampin' Buddies. And we all make a card. I haven't made mine yet, but I will. Our tutorial deadline is the 20th, and then I actually read it to make sure all the stuff looks like we all look symmetry, you know. All right, so I just added, I should come in, I guess I am as close as it goes. All right, so I just added the Flirty Flamingo pencil, and if you came in late, you didn't hear me say that the Flirty Flamingo doesn't seem super matchy-matchy to me when it comes to the pencil, but the beautiful part about watercolor pencils is you can add another color on top to make it the right color, and you can blend the colors for ultimate control over your color. So you can make it look like any color you want when you have both sets. So here I am. I just layered Flirty Flamingo and pumpkin, and now to me, color is subjective, right? It looks more Flirty Flamingo. Hey, Tara. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, so I went, I feel like I'm coloring a present of coffee here because these are Dunkin' Donuts colors. I'm going to do yellow, pink, orange, pink, orange, pink. And I'll put yellow on the top because now we'll have yellow here, and then it seems okay to me. Anybody else do that? You have to use two colors on your project. If you use it, you have to use it in two places. So there's the pink. Yeah, sorry, there's the orange. Here's the pink. Silly, silly. I do love to color. So I'm going to do the same thing for these hearts. I'm just going to add a little bit of pink. And then I'm going to scribble over it in the orange and make my Flirty Flamingo a little more orangey. Okay, so I've got my first piece colored. What do you guys think? Oh, I think he looks like he's standing on a hill, but that's okay because that's like part of the deal. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you do go back in and you want to straighten it out, you can, but like honestly, we have hills all over, right? And now that it's nice and dry on the bottom, I can go back in and play with that color a little bit more and soften it up. But see how it's starting to pill down there? I'm not going to play with it if the paper is flying. Okay. So here's the first card on the finish. If you missed me getting on, well, you can always hit the replay to see the beginning. I gave the measurements of all of this. And I'm going to go corner to corner, corner to corner with this 2 3/4 inch square. And then just layer this on top. Super cute, super fun. Okay, so now I have the 2 banners left. Let's bring in my new caddy. Alexis made me a new one. It's got all kinds of like holder things for my tops, and my bone folder doesn't fall over anymore. But what I need is dimensionals. And if I wanted to, I could add Wink of Stella. For the sake of the video length, I'm gonna skip it. Oh my gosh, can you even believe I'm skipping Wink of Stella? All right, I'm not. I'm gonna use it because, you know, I just have to. Oh, and I did neglect my yellow. I said I was gonna do yellow twice. So let's go in. And it's good to get rid of the color in between. So what you don't want to do with these pencils is you don't want to color straight up and down. You want to color on an angle to keep your nibs pointy, because if you've ever colored behind someone that colors like this, you know that it breaks them down and then you need a new marker. Oh, Jolene, I'm so happy to see you, my friend. Yeah, I loved these from the team meeting, and like our time was limited. I try to keep the team meeting to about 2 hours, an hour and a half, and I told them that I would do this because it was a lengthier one. It's funny to me how so many people have tools in their cabinet that they don't know how to use them. So watercolor pencils, I think it might be one of them. I know that I've had them forever and ever, and like people are always asking me, how do I use this? Because if they've bought it, I mean, they want to know how to use it. So I'm going to add Wink of Stella over the present and the hearts. And I could even put a little bit of sparkle in his step. How's that? A little on the ground. If it rained, it will show up. Let me see if I can get you. Can you see the wink at all? Gotta love the lighting. Okay, so then the gift card holder would just go inside like this one. And I got a little dot on here from the array of dots just to add a cute little, it makes that like a little 3 thing cluster. I didn't know that. Well, thank you, Beverly. Okay, so here's the first one that I did, and here's the second one I did. I did go a little heavier handed because I wanted for the camera for you to be able to see. Now there's one other thing, or actually, I guess 2 other things for this thing. Can you see how this guy has color in his belly and this guy doesn't? He's perfectly clean. He just took a bath. But let's give him a little bit of color. So you can, this is called hatching, which is coloring in one direction. So if we were going to hatch, it makes, hang on. Come on, focus up. You can barely see it. Hang on, let's see. Yeah, playing with it. No, I guess not. Okay, let me make it a little darker. So hatching is basically coloring in one direction. Now, if you wanted to make it a little darker, you could cross hatch, which means you, somebody said like a hashtag. I'm like, yeah. So you color this way and then you color this way, and that is cross hatching. And that will add color. I'm going to add actually a lot of color right there in the bottom. I really dug in there. But now I can go lightly and come out to meet where I first colored this way. Now I'm coloring that way. So it's like an X. So here, let's get nice and close so you can see. All right. And I know I'm upside down. Sorry. But that's how I color. So I'm going to come back in with the blender pen. Scooch, and make sure I get all the pink off my brush. And just go in and blend the color that's there. So the darker bit that's there, I'm kind of pulling it out. And now I'm going to go back to that first hash mark and pull it out straight so that if there's any shadows that you get to see it. So here's a nice close-up of that. So it's subtle, but it definitely puts him standing on the ground, you know? He's nice and solid. Super cute. Okay. I'm going to turn my scratch pad over and start over. And I told you there was one more thing. That was the one. And then here's the second one. I'm going to put sending love in here. So this is from the 3 banner punch. And I punched 3 banners right into the packets, and 2 of them went on this card. And the gift card sits inside. Super cute. Let's move on. Doesn't this package just make you happy? So you have a strip of the array of dots to make your cards included in this pre-cut packet. For this one, I am going to stamp right off the paper. So I'm going to use the back side of this. I had just some scrap paper hanging around. And we're going to bring in our race car and our snail because he's so flippin' cute. And then thank you for all you do is perfect for one of the 1-inch strips that we did. And then I need my Memento ink pad. Whew. Hot potato. So I'm going to start with this bit that has the 2 on the outside, and it's going to help me find the middle. And I'm going to stamp it multiple times going across the front. So, and you just line up that stamp. It's so fun to use, and I thought, what's better than a race car snail? He just makes me happy. And sorry, Debbie Ryder. Yes, I did fussy cutting on this card, but it's the only one. So, okay, so right off the paper onto a scrap paper. And that's the first bit. So you also get a white scrap in here. I gave you like a decent size piece just in case. If you don't like it, you can always stamp twice. We could. Yeah, let's make 2 just for fun. Because you never know when you'll mess up. You just need a little. It's always nice to have an extra piece of paper hanging around if you do. So you didn't get a little extra paper with this one. And then for this, the designer paper on the light side, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. And all of this comes out of this $5 set that you can get with any $75 order. So it's like, it's got all the things. It's got thank you. It's got birthday. So cute. Okay. Let me put the cover on the ink pad because, you know, bad things happen when I don't. And we'll get to assembling card 2 here. So, like I said, basically to assemble this at home, if you got the kit, you place a $50 order to get the kit for free if you already own the stamp set. But to get the stamp set, if you place a $75, you can add the stamp set on for just $5. I'm going to stick this right to the edge. And then if there's any hanging over, which there isn't this time, I would trim. But it looks, well, I'll trim a little. So you can add this stamp set on for just $5. And I used both watercolor pencils assortments, and the link to those are above in the description of the video. So here we go. I got my nail, and I'm gonna distress this. You can use your scissors too if you want. You don't even need to open them. You just take your scissors and you drag it. That's allowed. Take your scissors and drag it down. It's okay if it gets roughed up. That's the whole point. And then we'll attach that down on top to give it a little bit of texture. Anybody like doing distressed cards? I do. I think it's pretty. It gives a little bit more beef to a card without having it add anything extra. And look, that one has a little bit hanging over. I hand cut all of these, so if they're not perfect, you can just give it a trim when you go to assemble your card. And this one I'm going to rough up on both sides. So here's the finish. So let's give it a little happiness. Got a charm my friend Vicky gave me on this one. Always makes me smile. Actually, I have 2 charms on this one. An old one I made too. All right. Okay, so thank you for all you do, and it's a little bit roughed up. It's perfect. Like it doesn't have to be overly done, but it does add a little bit of extra love. Then you line it up again. And then that stamped piece shows behind. Isn't that cute? Not really. Uh-oh. So Beverly doesn't like to rough up her cards. Am I getting that right? So there's another piece here that I did out of that triple banner punch that's in the kits. And I'm just going to tuck that up underneath. So grab a little bit of adhesive. Thank you, Tracy. So fun to be here. Like like Tuesdays, I really look forward to Tuesdays because no matter what, you know, we all get busy. I know that I'm gonna stop and drop and do something for you guys. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna leave this here because this is gonna go up on dimensionals along with my snail. So I've got some pink on here and I've got a little bit of orange because again, I don't see when I color the sky with the pink, I don't see the flirty flamingo that it says on the package, which is fine because that's the whole point of watercolor pencils. You're supposed to blend them together. It's a very washy thing. Me using them with blender pens gives me a little more control than if I were to use an aqua painter, but you can use them interchangeably with aqua painters, Wink Stella, all the fun things. So you get to pick. So here we go. Okay, and then let's add some color up here and some color down here. And I'm gonna like purposely leave his face alone. Here I am coloring with pink. You guys, it's such a girl. Well, let me come in and add some brown. And I'm gonna put the brown in these little streaks here. Where the artist made the marks, I don't need to be an artist. I can just follow what they did. So fun. Maybe just a little there. And I'm going to put a little up here and maybe a little up in the antennas. So the idea is I'm adding color where I want it to blend here in a few minutes. I'll go back to the flirty and I'm going to color, because I just want to have some fun with this. I'm coloring in a circle motion like the shape of this. And then I'm going to add a little orange over the top because like I said, to me, this doesn't quite look like flirty flamingo. So if I add a little color with my orange, I'll start to get it to where I think it looks like flirty because I'm all matchy. See what I mean? Okay. Okay, so let's grab my scratch sheet here. And then I'll start to blend those colors together. So like I said, I did all my pencil work first, trying not to go back in because like I said, when you work with watercolor and blender pens, you want to kind of have it go fast and then just blend it together and see where you land. You could always go back in again, but like once you play with the blender pen, I try not to go back too much because I don't want that paper pill thing. And then I'll go back just to make it not so white because I didn't color it all in the middle there. Okay, so Debbie Ryder, you're not about to see this, but it's not that hard. I'm going to go straight across the bottom of the snail. And I am going to go around his little eyeball. And the trick to cutting out fussy is to move the paper and keep your scissors hand stationary in front of you. So just move the paper, and if you have to get it out of your way, that's fine. But just keep moving the paper and not the scissors. It helps make everything less choppy. gives you more control over the angle, and it's really nice for the finish. I also leave a white border all the way around. It makes it much more forgiving. I'm gonna go a little bit big here because you see on the back side of this guy, he's got a little, I don't know, turtle tail or something hanging out. I'm just gonna go a little bit bigger on my white so that I don't cut that off because it's cute. It's attached. I don't need to give him a haircut. Fun fact, did you guys know that I'm a hairdresser? I am still licensed in the state of Massachusetts. Not something I really wanted to do. My mom told me I was going to go to hairdressing school, so I did. I had fun, but it wasn't really my bag, so I went back to college. I did go to art school. All right, so here's my snail. Cute as can be. You can see you don't have to be like super fussy with the fussy cut. You can go easy. And then let's add some dimensionals. Oh, so tell me about the weather in your neck of the woods. It is 75 and sunny out. It is like the perfect summer day. And I am crafting in my studio. Well, because it's Tuesday. That's what I do on Tuesdays. Tomorrow I get to go to see my mom. She has an appointment in the morning, and then maybe we'll have lunch. And then Thursday I have my friends in Litchfield, New Hampshire. I'm going to go see them and do this class specifically with them. So if you're watching, this is a preview of what we're going to do on Thursday. I just want to fish these out. These are so cute. They're the array of dots, and they match this designer paper perfectly. The complete supply list of everything that I used is up in the description of the video. So indeed, it is a free stamping class. But if you want the pre-cut packet, I am so happy to send you one. And those are free with an order. Super cute. So what do you think? Let me see. I'm just seeing not really from, oh, same here, from Beverly. Super cute. Okay, so that's card 2. Ta-da. Let's see if I can find the third project. Oh, there it is. Ah, isn't he cute? I can't even stand it. Oh. I'm gonna try and color him a little darker though, because on the camera, you're not picking up. I have a blue background. I have ground under him. So I'm gonna give a little more gusto with this one. So this is what your packet looks like. Yes, I cut a hole out of here to make a hole for another card. And it's all used in this class. It's just makes your cards lighter. And nobody's going to know if you don't paint behind the toilet. All right, let's go see if we can find our cow. He's so cute. And then just a little note is over here somewhere. Hair design in Wilmington. Oh, that's cool. I remember her when she was younger, like much younger. It's so fun how like stamping friends over the years, we see each other in different stages of life, you know. It's cool. All right, so here's my cow. Moo. How do I eat my steak? Rare. Moo. Silly, silly. Feeling silly. Okay. And then since I have this out, I'm going to stamp my sentiment right on the designer paper. And you can see there's a light spot, there's a dark spot. You can stamp anywhere on your paper. I like stamp sets like this or stamp sentiments like this, just a little note, because it could be for a birthday. It could be for, it could be crooked. Let me see. I'm going to do this and cover my mistake. Let's see if it works. Stamping on the crooked. Okay, just a little note. Perfect. And then we're going to stick this down and see if I can cover it up, which is pretty funny. So here's how my card's going to come together. I take this 3.5 by 3 and put it on my 5 by 3 3/4. And then I'm going to attach it to the piece with the hole in it. And like I said, nobody's going to know. Well, you're going to know because you see that I did it live, right? Okay. So now when I go to put my cow on, I can put it there and you won't be able to tell that I made a mistake. Pretty cool, huh? So in the directions I told you to cut this with your scissors, I did it for you because I didn't want you to be frustrated. Let's stick this onto the base first because this was actually 4 1/4 and it's intended to go over both ends. That's why videos are good because I can tell you, hey, tip, tip, tip. So on purpose, I made it just a little bit longer than the black border from here to here. So let's get that on there next. And then we can do our watercoloring. So I'm going to purposely hang it over the edge on both sides. Oh, on both sides. And if it doesn't work that way, you can adjust. I really want to see the V across the yellow. So if that means you go all the way to the edge like I just did, it's perfect. It's still going to work good. But I love that, how it breaks the action. And this is going to go up on dimensionals after. We'll just pretend that I didn't do that. We'll just leave it like that. Let's go back and color. Okay. Silly goose. And again, let's put the cover on this bugger. Okay, so inside his nostril, his nose, whatever, achoo. He just sneezed in my head. We're going to cross hatch his nose. And then I'm going to take and make a dark line here. It really could be darker on the video, but I swear to you the color is pretty in person and I really don't, well, make it darker just for the sake of making it darker, but we can give him a little steam coming out of his nose. Okay, silly. Okay, so then we'll just blend that out. And that's the flirty flamingo, but I'm not going to go over that with the orange because it's cute. It looks fine. And then I'm going to bring in the ground again. And this time I said I was going to make it darker than the original. Here's what the original looks like. You can barely see it because of the camera. So I'm going to zhuzh it up for you so you can see it better. And I'm going to make the ground underneath him darker. And shade it down. Shade it down, shade it down. And then this I'm going to make a little lighter because I don't need the whole thing colored. And when I get to the blender pen, I can just go through what's there and stop. So the ground is going from side to side. Let me get you close up so you can see. Okay. Isn't he cute? Oh my God. I love all of them. They're really cute for different things. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to just blend this down. And so this just softens it. And I'm not going over it and over it. It's literally just a quick blend. It's not like blends markers. This is just to soften up the pencil mark. You can still see the pencil mark, but it's not as pointy if you blend it out. Here I am like, here, let me take it off on my hand. It's so funny. This one, it looks like it could have like a little bit more right there. Now it makes like a V, the ground. Okay, so you can see. I made it much darker than the original. Let me see if you can see oh, so you can see the blue streaks there a little bit, but I made it really soft. So you get to choose which way you think it looks better. And every time you do it, it's going to look a little different anyway. So to match these pool party embellishments, I took the Coastal Cabana and came in and made a sky. So again, I'm just hatching in one direction to make that sky. And if you wanted to, you could like make a halo around him to show that the sky is darker, but again, it just depends on the look you're going for. Because when you blend it, it'll blend out and it'll just add like a little bit more color behind him. Brings out the black in his eyes. I guess I could make his eyes blue. That's funny. Okay. Cutie. So I'm purposely making this one darker, just so you can see the difference. Okay. I almost grabbed this, and that's okay too, but I'm sticking to the blender pens today. All right, so now when I go into that blue and I pull it out, just softens it. You see how like it dragged into the sky there? Here, look. It really gave him some color back there. But like I said, with the watercolor pencils, I try to keep it dry and only swipe through to blend at the very end. So I do all the work with the pencil and then color at the end. Because if you get it too wet with the blender pencil, it doesn't, or with the blender pen, it'll pill and then you're done. Okay, so we've got him standing. He's got some blue. He's got some nice bright background. Now I need my brown. And I'm going to make just some fun shapes. And you don't have to like worry about it. You could make a heart if you want, like honestly. Oh, and I forgot. Got to do his tongue. It would look weird if he had a white tongue, wouldn't it? Let me fix that. Ta-da. All better. And then a little bit down on his hoof. Maybe one right there. Maybe one over here. Like they can be different every single time. And then I'm going to make some darker lines underneath here because if he was standing and the sun was behind him, there would be some dark area shadows under here anyway. And then I'm going to take this and hatch one way. And okay, so here's the cross hatch. I colored that way. Now I'm going to go directly across from it. So now it looks like a little X's. And just kind of fill in. I can make darker marks where the artist made dark marks. And follow around here. And then we'll blend at the end. The other thing I'm going to do while I've got this right here is pull in here. And the card has yellow on it. So I really want to add a little bit of yellow in here. And maybe in through my dots. Look at the heart, hidden heart. My team is Stampers with Heart. We had our team meeting this past Sunday. I love them. They're like, they kill me. They're so inspiring. Robin Greger did a face melting presentation. She makes these cards that are just, she finds the most beautiful fun folds and she just breaks them down so easy. And she just does it for herself. She's a hobby demonstrator, but boy, she brings so much to our group. And I mean, everybody does it. Show and tell is at the end, and it's my favorite part of the meeting because we just go on for a bit and everybody just shows what they got. It's super cool. Okay, so I'm almost at the point where I'm gonna blend. I want to add a little bit more color here and here to kind of tie that tuft to his head. And I did the crosshatch, but I'm actually gonna go a third way here so that you don't see it. and then I'm gonna blend. So here we go. And it goes very fast once you blend because I put enough color to start. So I'm not gonna have to go back in, and I'm just doing circles here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Watercolor is really, a true watercolor is about washing color on, like the aqua painter, but with blender pens, it's more controlled, and it helps you just move the color and make a fun little image. I'm gonna add a little color under here for him, just move what's there. And then soften this a little so you get the yellow in there too. What do you think? Is there anything you would change? Let's take a look. Super cute. Very washy, very watercolor washy. Let's see. Hey, Laurie. Great to see you, my friend. I met Laurie in Alaska on one of the last incentive trips we did. And a friendship ensued, and the rest is history. We are good buddies. Let's see. I see a little spot I'd like to soften a bit. I missed, there's like a white dot right there. Like, obviously you could do this for days and days and still go back in and be like, oh, maybe I could do this. But the trick, there is a trick, is knowing when to stop. So, and there's nothing that can't be fixed. You know, like you can flip it over. If you don't stamp it right, that one was crooked. Well, we're just gonna flip it over and use the other side and then cover it up. Super cute. Take it all the way out to there. And I like using 3 sides equal when I put stuff together, but in this case, I purposely went all the way that way. And then I do 2 sides equal. So you see the same amount of white here and here, and it makes it kind of balanced. So also coming in this kit, free with a $50 order, I will send you a sheet of these. And then for people who spend more than that, because it happens, for someone that spends 100, I'm going to send a sheet of bling, and it'll be random. Just get a sheet of whatever I have. I have lots of bling. I'm an addict. It's okay. I have a demo ID. I get a discount. That's my story. Anyway, he's cute as heck. So which one do you like? Do you like the lighter one or do you like the darker one better? I purposely did this one darker to show you the difference. Thank you. Thank you, Beverly. My goodness. Okay, so we're going to push him off to the side. And again, I've got this guy lighter. So cute, though. Oh. All right, so there's a technique in here. There's a couple techniques in here. I love this class. I love taking stuff that would seem new to a new crafter, but it's old to me. And being like, hey, did you know you could do this? So check out this paper. This is the corner bit of paper, right? It's 3 by 3. And all I did was I took this corner and ripped it so that I didn't get to the corner. And then you flip it over and stick it on top of itself, and you have a whole nother look and layer. You could do this with so many of our designer papers. It's easy, and it's a really cute way to add some interest. This particular paper is black and white on one side and colored on the other. And I just love black and white and a splash of color. It's definitely my style. Actually, I did my nails to match because it's my style. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece of designer paper that's already cut to match my white and just put this at the bottom. And then I got my little slash folder here at the top. And I got my black and white and splashes of color. Some of my favorite things. Okay, coolness, love it. Okay, and then I'm gonna, while this is here and fresh, I'm gonna stick this die cut from Stylish Shapes up. And I'm, ooh, all right, well, it's gonna land where it lands, but here. All right, it's gonna go right there, right smack in the middle pretty much. And then we'll do our stamping. Oh, if I wasn't doing a live video, this is where I would pause the live video because it would be a recording to say, have fun at dance, Alexis.
Love you, Mom.
Because she's heading out the door to go line dancing with one of my stamping friends. Oh, cool. Ah, Cheryl, she'll see you tonight. That's funny. Cheryl's watching. Oh, love you too, honey. Dad and I get an impromptu date night. Maybe, if I'm not working, which I probably am. Just saying. It's all good. With a retreat coming up, I work a lot, but it's okay. We'll have fun at retreat, and that's all that matters. Okay, so let's talk about the pencils again. I'm going to start with the black. Okay, I got a little bit of black here, and I'm going to go around his snout, and I'm going to leave a white dot. Why? Well, because that's where the light is going to hit him when I look at him for real. Okay, so here's the dark all the way around, dark, 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 and he's got a little bit of white on his nose. And then I'm going to do the same thing in here. I'm going to add some dark where the artist made the dark lines. Da, 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 da. And then there will be dark under here. Because again, if he was standing and the light was behind him, you know, the light's going to come down. It's cool. And then I will go down the line where the artist made their marks. Ta-da, ta-da. This is so fun. I could color all day. Actually, when I go to retreats as a guest, that's the thing that I do while I'm there, is I color. So now I'm going to do a little bit of hatching in one direction on his head and through the ear. And I'm going to not do his face too much. I'll do like around the sides. And I'm going to leave a bright area in the center here that's uncolored. And of course I could have gone out to the edge there, huh? It's all right. I can always fix it before I do the blending. And this I'm going to go straight across because it's fine. His fur is windswept. Now I'm going to add a little brown for effect. He's so cute. You know, and I didn't do it on the first card, but maybe we should give him, maybe he should be standing on the ground like we did in the last card. Let's do that. We'll give him a little bit of ground. So just seriously, that's how hard it is. And just add a little bit, and then you add a little more underneath. Because now he's standing there. So cool. Okay. I want a little more brown now that I have ground there. I want there to be like a difference in color. All right, I'm going to blend what I have so far and then maybe put some blue behind him because, again, it would tie really cute with that designer paper. So let's see what we've got so far. I'm going to just slide across, making sure that I get in under so that he's standing on the ground and there's a shadow under him. Okay. Now his ears, because those are also the darkest areas. I put the most ink there, and I'm going to actually clean off my brush a little because I put a lot there. Super cute. And then I'm going to go in the way that I colored him to blend this a little bit. Oh, I hit the pink when I went on my scratch paper. That's funny. He's got a little pink in him. That's all right. He's okay. He's secure with himself. He can wear pink. It's funny. All right, so he's dark there, and let's get his nose next. The nose. And scratch off. And then just a little bit right there. So he's got a little highlight on his nose. Soften right there. Soften his face a bit. Just like a makeup brush, right? Soften it up a little. Okay, so which one do you like better? Do you like the darker one or the lighter one? He does. He has a sunburn. Actually, he's a little pink. Maybe he had some wine. It's funny. My goodness. Okay. All right, let's give him some sky behind him. Brighten him up a little. I'm just adding the majority of the color like directly behind him, and this will blend nicely into whatever I cross hatch or hatch out. I'll probably hatch because with a background sometimes cross hatch looks funny. It just depends on how much color I want there. When I go to appointments with family members and I have to sit and wait for them, I have a watercolor book that I bring with me, and this is one of my favorite pastimes. I just sit and color. And pencils is one of my favorite mediums. But it's funny because it's new to some people and it's like old school to me, but I still love it. I was doing watercolor pencils back in art school before I ever knew of Stampin' Up, so. Actually, one of my favorite art school projects was just paper. I did black, white, and gray paper, and I did a self-portrait of torn paper, which is pretty cool. I'm going to pull this out a little bit before I do the whole thing. So I'm just going into that swath of blue that I did to give him some background, like he is in a bright sunny day like it is out here. Okay, and then I'll pull into that other stuff. So you'll get a variation to the color. It won't be a solid color. Otherwise, you just color it with a marker, right? If you wanted one color. This gives you the variation. And there is a line in the sand there, so I'm going to add just a small bit. I want it to blend more, so. There it is. Oh, there he is. He's so cute. And then I'm going to add just a tiny bit more from here because it was bright white, stark white. Maybe less lines. And if you want to see less lines, you just go through the other way. Okay. So we've got this part assembled so far, and then we're going to stick it to the part with the hole. So this one, I used the small one behind the snail, and then the other one, I used the big one for this card. So I just cut to save a little paper, and it's a great way to use your supplies and get the most for your money. And whoop, here we go. Oh, I get this question a lot. So these packets, I didn't fold them this time. Usually I fold my packets. I did score them. So there's a score mark, and you might wonder what side I score to. So see the side that stands up, the mountain side or the valley side. What side do you think that I should fold on? I'll give you a second for that because there is a delay. I'll tell you what I do and why. And this is good because some of my packets now are going to come flat, which are good. It allows me to mail them first class mail, which saves me a little money and helps me to offer more. But let's see if anybody answered. There's about a 30-second delay, so I'm going to wait a second and put some dimensionals on the back of this, if I can find them. There they are. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. That's right. Beverly McGuire is saying that the mountain goes on the inside, and that's because, in my experience, if you fold it the other way, all of this stuff that stands up would be on the outside. So if there's any jagged edges, they'd be more likely to stand up. Whereas if you fold it this way, the divot is here and it gives a nice crisp, clean fold when you make your card. So Beverly, you got the winner there. It's awesome. Okay, here we go. Dimensionals. I peeled them all. I don't usually do that, but here I am chit-chatting. So this one it's very dark, and the other one is light with no background. Which one do you like? You tell me. But it's cool because whatever one you like is the one you can make it like. It's 100% what your eye sees and what you like. But you have that capability when you are working with pencils because you can do as much or as little as you feel like. I just did it. I never understood. Well, that's why, because if there's stuff that's sticking up, it's going to stick up at you, and you'll see it. All right, hi, friends. And then I'm going to take, I picked these to go with your cards because they match the designer paper perfectly. So I did a medium. Oh, I need to advance so if this happens to you, like I don't have enough gunk on the take your pick right now. This is the stuff that will help you pick something up, and mine is apparently worn down. So you fast forward it a little and it comes up out of the tool, and then you kind of push it down, and now it should be just enough stick to pick up your embellishment without sticking to your embellishment. And then you can push your embellishment off the transfer sheet and then stick it wherever you want it. It's just a picker-upper tool. Okay, so you tell me, which one do you like better? Do you like Now Dark? Very different altogether. It's funny. Yeah, they are. They're different. So like here, light, dark, and then light, dark. That was fun. And then light, dark, all the way across. That's funny. Well, what a pleasure it is to see all of you, and thank you for hanging out with me for this past hour for our online workshop. So at $50, if you place an order, you'll get a packet in the mail and the PDF. At $75, you can add on the product of the month, which is this stamp set, for $5, and it is just adorable. I've seen so many beautiful things online with it. Even just today, one of my friends designed with the same paper and the same stamp set, which is funny. Serendipity. And then if you spend $100, I'll send you another package of random bling that you can use just in your crafting. And then for every additional 25, more surprises will be added to your package. And if you want it all, you could join my Stampin' family. We meet once a month. The next team meeting is July 12th. We do a fun class, and this was the class from the team meeting this month, and I wanted to come share it with you because it is fantastic. But they get it every month as part of their meeting. They also get all the directions that I write for free in a library on Facebook that they can go and access it at 2 in the morning and print out sheets and decide if they want to make cards with their friends and just copy. They get their own 20% discount, which is pretty cool. And we swap every month. We have Renee, who does our news. She keeps us in line so that we know what's going on with Stampin' Up. And we have Cheryl, who is our coordinator for Mystery Card. And I give prizes for that at the meeting. So we have quite a fun group, and it's, been a long time to build, and it's just at a point right now that I love it, and I love all the people in it, and I'm so grateful, as I am grateful for all of you. And with that, I will see you guys next Tuesday for another live. Now that will be right before my club starts for the week, so I'll probably be in a rush next week, so I'll have to plan something ahead. But if you have questions about any particular Stampin' Up! Tool, I mean, I love doing techniques, so if there's something that you wanna learn about, especially if it's been around for a while, I might be your girl. If not, I'll go learn how to do it and then present it. But if you need anything at all, let me know. I'm happy to help, and I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks.